Hello and welcome back to the channel. It is a cold night. We are in the shed that we talked about in the previous videos. Today we are working on the mighty AU engine from the mighty Blue AU God's gift. So we're going to be stripping down the engine and getting it prepped for, you know what's happening, the big turbski. So grab yourself a nice can of Northern or a bottle of Northern and sit back, relax and watch us pull down this engine. So we need to strip this down. We're going to get all of this off here because we're getting that forward facing plenum, which you've seen in the other videos. We're going to strip pretty much all the top off, maybe even get the head off tonight, have a geezer. We're going to flip the engine over, pull off one of the big end caps, have a geezer at the bearings on that, see what they're like. Anything else we're going to pull apart on this rig? Apart from all the front, obviously.
No, maybe. Like I said, we're going to look at the condition of the bottom end. Yeah. If they're okay, we'll put it back together. But mainly I want to get the sump off to have a look at that. Probably won't be able to get the harness bouncer off, which won't be able to get the timing cover off, which means you want to have to look at the guides and shit.
We got a lot to do. You can say shit, it's alright. We're not monetized. Actually, we are. But yes, we're going to do a bit of pulling apart on this. Hopefully it's going to be good. We haven't got lights set up in here yet. We do have one big dog light up here. So if the shadows are a bit funky, I am sorry. We'll get to the proper lighting eventually. But it is cold. This man's wearing a t-shirt and shorts, but it's friggin' freezing cold. And the thongs. But yes, we're going to have a quick squiz. Of course, we are turboing the engine. We do need to actually pull it all apart and make sure everything's going to be all right.
Not planning on making unsafe power for the bottom end. The bottom end's good for about 350 kilowatt. The gearbox, not so much, 55. But we're only going to make 400 real.
Which is plenty. So yes, we do need to check all this out though, make sure it's all good, replace a few things, but yes, so we'll take you with us on the jet. making a mess on your floor. I got all the top off now. I'm slowly undoing all these inlet manifold bolts. And then once this side's all off, I'll chuck that over in our little parts pile. While Jaden here makes a huge mess. We are going to split this eventually and chuck that top plenum on here, but we'll do that in another video, in another day. For the meantime, it's just pulling stuff apart. And we're waiting for Connor to rock up. Probably should have bought the 10mm spanner over here instead of trying to finish this off by hand. So we're in the process, as you can see from the time lapse, taking off the inlet manifold now. Most of them were loose, AU Kings. Once this comes out, we'll put it down, and then we're down to starting to take off more major components. Oh dear, we have a situation. Oh wow, now you pulled it out. So we're going to strip this down, split it in half, and chuck that big boy forward-facing plenum on eventually. That should be all good, yeah. Smells like shit. You know what doesn't smell like shit? That forward-facing one. That smells delicious.
First step to removing the timing chain, disconnect negative terminal from battery.
Well, I think we've done that.
Remove the valve cover, already done. Release the tension and remove the timing chain cover and VCT housing if equipped.
So this is a very important part. If you're pulling down motors and that, make sure you have the correct book. Otherwise, you're going to be up shit creek without a paddle. So, reading the book's instructions, and that's how we're going to pull this down. That way, it won't be done incorrectly, and then we won't be upset when it shits itself. So inside here, there'll be a tensioner as well that tensions this timing chain. So this chain runs from, right here, see. So that chain runs from the top here, which is the camshaft, runs down to the bottom where the crankshaft is, and then it keeps it all in time. With a barra, you've got 2 cams, so it'll have 2 of these timing bloody cogs, and it'll be side by side. I think we've gone over that when we did your car, didn't we, Connor? Pretty sure we did. But yeah, you'll see that too, so it's a whole bunch of different. On a Coyote, there's like, I think there's 7 or 6 timing chains on a Coyote because they've got the double overhead cam plus it's a V8. It's an absolute nightmare. Look that up on YouTube if you want to see that. Not my channel though. But yeah, that's sort of what the go is here. We're just following the book, so we want to keep this all together. There are timing marks here, as you can see. We do have it on top dead center number 1, which is what you want to do. That is the very top of a compression stroke on your number 1 cylinder. That is when your engine is timed. So when you're putting an engine together or pulling it apart, probably not so much pulling it apart if you're fully stripping it, but that's sort of what you want to make sure is that everything is set up that way. That way everything is going to be set perfectly when you put it back together. How was that for explaining? Pretty good, thank you. It's a nice shirt, Jaden.
It's a nice shirt.
Alright, tensioner is now taken out. It's in the lock position. This bad boy is ready to come out. Alright, we're draining the oil in this bad boy. And it's almost time to make it happen, Cap. So once that's all out, hello Boggo, we'll get all this together, put it in there. We do have all the equipment to do the head, so to do valve springs and that.
Fully built the head.
Yes, if we are going to do that, that's going to be a separate video because that's another video. So as you notice in that time lapse, he's gone from the outside to the in. You do that so that you don't get excessive load on the camshaft. Well, yeah, because if you start going from one side and doing everything, this side will be full of tension, you can actually snap shit and cause damage to stuff.
And when you just spent $800 on 2 cans for a barrel or 1 for a single can, that's an expensive effort.
Correct. So, and we're not, don't worry about using the rattle gun, we're just undoing stuff. We're not talking it. So, it's not really that big of a deal. There we go.
Exposing that one single can.
delicious. Now
Superior to Barrett.
that is dripping off all sorts of nonsense. So we need to. You're dripping all over our floor, Jaden. And as you can see, one single cam. Inferior to the mighty Barra, which has 2. Alright, cam is out. As you can see, now we've got our valves here. Boom, 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 boom. Before we do that, we can have our head studs here. We'll probably whack them off. But before any of that nonsense happens, we need to...
Head bolts.
What? Head studs? Oh, head bolt. Oh, because they're a bolt. They're not a stud yet. Technicality. Okay, we're hoping we can get the head off around the sprocket without having to take all this off. So we're going to see. What the hell? That's not good if one's super tight, eh? Get the big ugga dugger out.
Oh, did say that'd be tight.
Well, 3 weren't. Gonna hold it. I have to hold this.
That should lock in a second.
Yes, I would definitely probably say it's the exhaust has got something to do with that. Get the bigger gun. Come on.
Get to that top.
It's a good day for it. It's a good night for it. Where are we putting it? Oh, look at that!
Nice.
Right, if you want to see us do the valve strings on this head, that's next week's video, so that'll get done after we've finished. So as you can see, 4 cylinders. What the fuck?
That's a good one.
As you can see, 6 cylinders. I can't count. So as you can see, we've got the head off now. You can see the tension is all down in here a bit better now. And yeah, I thought we'd have to pull this off. We don't have to, so that's nice. It's a happy...
We'll have to pull off the...
yeah, eventually. But yeah, we don't have to pull that off to do the head, so that's wicked. Sorry about the lighting, we're trying to do a bit better in here. But yeah, you can see it all. No bad scoring or anything. Pistons look like what we'd expect them to.
It looks fairly healthy, to be honest. It's got 300,000 in it.
300, yeah, so it looks friggin' phenomenal. I'm trying to convince him to bore it out and put a stroker in it. Get a stroker kit through it, but big money. But I reckon the turbo on this will be more than enough. So what's the next plan now? Now we've got it apart, pull the sump, we're going to flip it around, pull the sump off, give a geezer. We had the camshaft, didn't look too bad either, so, well, camshaft, didn't look too bad either, so I'm not too fast on that. All in all, pretty good for a 300,000 kilometre engine. There's going to be a lot of gunk that's going to come out of here, a lot of oil and coolant. So that's why I've got the rag down. Oh, you missed the bucket. There we go. Sweet. All right, next step. Get this bad boy off. Pizza delivery.
Oh.
Pizza break. Oh. Sometimes the books aren't always the best, especially with their instructions. Like for instance, for the sump removal. So it says remove the bolts and detach the sump. Normally it's quite in-depth on what you need to do, but should be pretty straightforward. Now we do have bolts along the side here that go in. Once we get it off, we'll show where that goes, but we've got bolts on the side and then bolts on here. So we'll get those out. And then get it done. All right, here we go. And, ooh, there it is. One big dirty sump. There's the oil pit. Oh, good. That's not good to have that to pick up. Oh yeah, so as we were discussing with those sump side bolts, that where they bolt into right here. And those are the main caps that hold the crankshaft in place. It makes this whole section a hell of a lot stronger. Similar to what's on a Barra. I think 2Js do something similar, don't they? Possibly, maybe. I'll get roasted if they don't. But yeah, it just makes the whole thing super, super strong. Well, that is good. That is good. Upon further inspection, we've found that it's probably just the timing chain guides. All right, the next step is we've winded it over just a tiny bit. We're going to put it back to where it was before. We're going to pull off our big, I can't even freaking see it because this is the light. We're going to pull this off. We're going to check the big end bearing. We're going to make it happen. And we're going to retension these once we're done. And this is mainly just to check the condition of it. Holding your breath. There we go. So it's not that bad.
Can you feel it? I can hear it now. Keep it in.
Yup.
That'd be the first thing that spins as soon as you start with this.
Yeah. So you can. I don't know if it picks up on the camera, but yeah, that bearing is a bit hanging going. So we're gonna have to put a set of bearings through this engine too. So.
Means the main cap's probably worse.
On the plus side, at least the crank doesn't seem to have any wear, which is what that's designed to do. Is that wears first?
It's just softer metal.
Yeah. So good that we've picked this up now, and not once we've thrown a hairdryer on the side of this thing and then it spins a bearing when it's on the dyno. So.
Now have to buy some plastic heads, some bearings.
Yes, which is another video. Well, that's all for the stripped down video of the engine. The next video is going to be the head video, where we do valve springs on the head. Thank you guys for watching so much. Keep on boosting, and we'll see you in the next video.